conservation in the National Trust is we're really looking after the interiors and the collections of the house, preserving them really for the future so that they survive for future generations, but also managing any changes that happen in the house. We know that the collections will deteriorate over time, that's just natural, but we can sort of slow down that process as much as possible.
Well, this morning it's a Monday morning and the house is closed to the public today, so we're trying to get on with a bit of what we call deep cleaning. We try and do this around the house on a regular rotation, so we probably do it about once a month in each area of the house. Since January we've been reinstating the first half of the house, so we've spent a lot of time bringing furniture and paintings down from our storerooms, several courtyards and staircases away, and then rehanging them. We've had to move the billiard table back into position. We've washed all our net curtains very painfully by hand and then had to rehang them. It's been very pleasant seeing the rooms coming back to normal.
Every now and then, Knole has to call in outside conservators. This is work that unfortunately us as conservation assistants can't do by ourselves. On this particular day, we had a lady called Zena Tinker who came in, who is a conservator for tapestries. Because of the amount of building work that was being done at Knole and in the showrooms at the time, the tapestries and all the furniture had to go into storage. In particular, these tapestries were rolled up for about 18 months.
Our main enemies, things that we have to really be aware of, light. Light can cause a lot of damage to particularly our textiles. One of the big problems we have here is with damp. If the damp levels get too high, we get problems with mould, we get problems with pests, things like woodworm and moss.
We generally have an occasion sometime during the day, or perhaps if we're just working on our own, to get a bit more involved in what we're doing, perhaps a little bit more hands-on with a particular item or in a certain area. And that just gives you a bit of quiet time, really. The house is quite a quiet place to work in.
There is a great sort of fulfilment in the work that we do, and it is quite easy to sort of, yes, get in the zone, if you like. The work we do is quiet, you know, and if it's just us in the house and if we're not chatting away, it can be very peaceful.
Something the public are always very interested to know, particularly when they see us go through a little secret door, is what it's like behind the showrooms. And of course it's completely different. It's very stark and bare and dusty. People want to see these hidden spaces, and Knole certainly has tons of those.
Some of the spaces that we're planning to open are more of the behind-the-scenes sort of spaces, so which would have been used for the servants to live in, for storage. The Upper King's Room is a lovely space, sits above the current King's bedroom, and originally would have been quite a high-status room, but really for the last few hundred years has been made use of as a storeroom. So there's a really random collection of things in there at the moment which belong to the family, and I think have just been put in there when they've been, you know, they're no longer used.
On a Tuesday, two of us will go and do something called Knole Unwrapped, whilst the other two set up a table we've been setting up in the Reynolds room and cleaning an item of furniture, so it'll either be textiles or wood.
And whenever the team do any conservation in action, when the house is open, people are always fascinated by the work that we do. And I think in the Trust we have a huge amount of experience and expertise in conservation in historic houses. So we really want to share this knowledge more with our visitors. And so the plan is to build a conservation studio here on site. We know that we've got a huge amount of conservation work we need to do to the collection, but we also want to make that part of the visitor experience. So the studio will be open to the visitors. Visitors will be able to come in, watch the conservators, talk to the conservators, and hopefully get involved.